Welcome everyone to Pecten Toastmasters Club. This is our October 7th meeting, and we are delighted to have you join us today. We'll be starting in just a minute. Thank you for joining, and good evening.
Your mark
Miriam,
time?
please, can anyone confirm if they can hear me?
Absolutely.
All
Yes.
right, thank you.
It's 6:15. Sorry, it's 4:15.
Right, please, can someone drop the backdrop in the chat box, please?
I'll do that. Please, Sergeant at Arms, are you calling the meeting to order? We're waiting. You're muted if you're speaking, Toastmaster Femi.
All right, I'll just call the meeting to order.
Mm.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to our October 7th meeting. And in usual fashion, for all of our virtual meetings, we will implore that if you're not speaking, you kindly mute your mics. And if you would like to speak, you can use the raise hand button. Please, we encourage you to also type in the chat box if you have questions, comments, if you want to appreciate the speakers as they're speaking. We encourage you to also use that. And we also encourage cheer. So you could use the emoticons, you could use all of the clapping, laughing, no weeping, but it could be the weeping, laughing emoticon. And then we will we will definitely indulge in all of that. That being said, we're going to start with the Toastmasters promise, as usual in all of our Toastmasters meeting. Kindly confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so please read with me. As a member of Toastmasters International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all of my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefit Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs, to act within Toastmasters' core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. And now we would like to read the Pecten mission. And the Pecten mission is simple. It is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self confidence and personal growth. That being said, now I would like to yield the floor to our club president for our opening remarks. Toastmaster Ola.
Thank you, Toastmaster Linus. Please, I cannot see emoticons and clapping. Is it that people don't want to see me this evening or what? Eh? Good evening, Toastmasters. I'm sure we have a couple of guests. I know I saw Onye earlier on. Please keep it coming. Keep it coming. In my own way, I would say raise them, raise them, raise them, raise them. Right? Thanks. Let's practice what our standing SAA has told us. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I am Toastmaster Ola Morene, the current president of Pecten Toastmasters Club. And it's such a delight to host you today. The agenda for today's meeting is packed with so many interesting and exciting things to go on. So I am sure we're going to have a really great meeting. However, in the spirit of themes for the month, this month we're going to be talking about serving up change. What does it mean to serve up change? Now, if you are aware, October 16th this month marks the UN's World Food Day. And you know what happens in this particular setup? It's just to create awareness about what's going on in the world as regards food insecurity. Take it from me. As at 2023, we had 2.3 billion people in the globe who were at risk of food insecurity, and a whopping 864 million people who were currently at the time not having a meal for the entire day, at least a meal for the entire day. What that means is that we've got typically that number of persons starving for a full day at a minimum. That's a lot. To make it and draw it closer home, it is 1 in 5 persons in Africa in that population of 864 million. As Toastmasters, when you think about this, how do we contribute to solving a global problem? Perhaps you would be a part, you could be a part of some NGO supporting feeding the hungry and all of that. But maybe the easiest, simplest thing that you could do as a communicator and as a leader is to speak up and to serve up change. So every opportunity you get to create awareness around subjects like this, we should. Because in creating awareness, we make it easier for other people to become more aware and they are also able to do what needs to be done. With that said, a typical Toastmasters meeting will be facilitated by the most fancy, classy people. Today's meeting is a bit phenomenal, and I say this with all people will not understand. But our Toastmaster for today's meeting is none other than Toastmaster Dr. Essie Ogene Okereka. She's one of our own Pecten Toastmasters Club. Her occupation is environmental. She's an environmental sustainability consultant and a writer. She loves to read romantic fiction, explore museums, markets, and nature hikes. Her favorite quote is, "Examine the labels you apply to yourself. Every label is a boundary or limit you would not let yourself cross." And this is a quote by Wayne Dyer. Toastmaster Essay, I know you're going to do justice to your role, so please come to the lectern and tell us what you're about for the day. The lectern is yours. Please, a round of applause.
Thank you so much. And hello, everyone. Welcome to Pecten Toastmasters Club. And I am delighted to have you all join in today. If you know you're feeling excited, if you know you're feeling fabulous, or honestly, if you know you like food and you want to keep eating food, I need you to drop your favorite emoji in the chat box, or you can send a virtual emoji. But if you know you don't like food, or you're like, you know what, I think I want to stop eating food from going forward, or I hope that all the food I eat going forward will no more be delicious, then don't drop any emoji. But if in your mind, your body, and your soul, you genuinely believe that food is one of the greatest ways we can connect, food is something you like, you hope to get free food, delicious food, let me see your emojis. I have my eyes in the chat and it seems no one wants food. Okay, yes. Toastmaster Linus, I like that pot of, is that paella or spaghetti? I really can't. Yes, I see our VP giving me thumbs up. No one else likes food. Oh, wow. I want to see more emojis. If you know you like food, if you know you're a fan of food, if you know you've ever loved anybody's food, except you don't love your mom's food, you need to drop a chat. Thank you, Toastmaster Toby. Thank you, Alex. Yes, I can see more thumbs up. Show by your emoji how very excited you are when it comes to food. It is so delightful to have you all join us today, and I will be serving as the Toastmaster of the day. Now, my role as Toastmaster is to not only introduce today's speakers, but also the sequence of everything that will be happening in today's meeting. Think of me as, your MC with an MSc. That's who I am for you today. I'm going to be guiding how we go through this meeting, but of course, I'm not going to be doing that alone. I'll be doing that with a team of amazing role players, and we would help you learn and build and hone your skills in Pecten Toastmasters meeting today. Toastmasters is an amazing organization, and our meetings usually follow three processes. We do our introductions, we deliver speeches, we get feedback on our performances and speeches, and we all keep being superstars while at it. So I'm very delighted to have you join us today. Now, my very first role as TMOD would be to introduce the person who's going to anchor and guide how our meetings run today, our general evaluator. Toastmasters and guests, Please join me as I welcome our general evaluator, Toastmaster Ubong Iang. He's a business strategy consultant who is a leader and a communicator. He's a member of the Uyo Premier Speakers Club, and he's currently on the effective coaching path. He loves to play chess, and his favorite quote, "I don't believe in mistakes. They are just brilliant blunders." Toastmaster Ubong Ian, the virtual lecture is yours, our general evaluator.
Thank you very kindly, Toastmaster of the Day, Seogene. It's going to be an interesting day, especially when food is being mentioned. You see, how else will I feel this big body if not with food? For those who love food like myself and Olem, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yes, we have to come out on this day and represent very well. Maybe that's why I am made the general evaluator, to ensure that I test every pudding on the table. It's a buffet for all. Okay. Now, I wouldn't be doing this alone. I will have a team of very interesting people who will come as the stewards, the cleaners, the testers. All of them will ensure that this food date with you becomes one that will be remarkable. It's called the tag team for a reason. I will have my timer, my hour counter, and my grammarian. However, I'd like to start with my grammarian first. So she would tell us the different names given to the meals. My grammarian for today is a communication strategist, a member of Pecten Toastmasters Club, going through the innovative planning pathway. Her hobbies are learning, researching, and guess what? Eating. That's interesting. Favorite quote, everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it is not the end. That's John Lennon. Let me put it in Niger parlance. You go belly full for the end. If you never belly full, you never chop finish. Help me welcome Toastmaster Tobilola Akinmoluwa, our grammarian.
Thank you very much, the general evaluator, for that very warm welcome. And yes, I love food, and I'm glad that we'll be discussing food today because I want other people to experience what I experience when I eat food. So the word of the day today, please can I have it? Oh, great, it's coming up. The word of the day today is nourish. What does nourish mean in the context of today's meeting? Beyond meaning to provide food and other substances necessary for growth and health and good condition, nourish could also be applied typically for a long time to cherish, foster, and encourage. The word family of the word nourish. We have nourishing as an adjective, and then we have nourishment as a noun. Examples: Toastmaster Judith's speech nourished our belief that we could make a difference. Another example: a mentor nourishes potential in others through guidance and encouragement. Synonyms: feed, cherish, sustain, nutrify. Please feel free to utilize the word nourish and its word family as you wish, because I will come back after the meeting to give my evaluation on how brilliantly the word nourish and its other family members were used. And it's back to you, the general evaluator.
Thank you very much, our grammarian Tobilola, for introducing the word of the day and telling us how nourishing it will be at the end if you tend to use the word of the day, nourish. Well, you're nourishing us with your speech. You see, everything about food today. Next on my list, I'd like to bring up the, guess who? The R counter. My R counter for today is a nursing informatics specialist and a data analyst. Yet another member of Pecten Toastmasters Club on the part presentation mastery. His hobbies, listening to music, traveling, and studying. Why studying? Why not eating? Well, his favorite quote, embrace failure. Each setback is an opportunity to learn, grow, and refine one's approach, by Jack Ma. Well, if you don't eat, how will you grow? And I also know that studying helps with your mental growth. He's not really wrong. Help me welcome our counter for today, Toastmaster Paul Nduku. Paul Nduku, over to you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Toastmaster today. That study there, you know, when you are studying without food, it will not enter very well, right? So this studying and eating, they have something strong. Affinity, strong affinity between them are very strong. So there is always food at beside me while studying. Actually, thank you very much today. So after today, just give me a minute. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of the R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as crutches or pause fillers by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, or this means. And at the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used this expression. Thank you, and it's back to you, the Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster, our counter for today. And thank you for letting me know in our Nigerian parlance. Say, na the one where they belle, then they use carry the one where they head. You feel me? We never even start this food thing. That was nourishing, hearing that first line. And also letting us know your role for today. Next on my list would be the timer. This timer is a student, a member of Pecten Toastmasters Club. Yet, on presentation mastery pathway, he loves traveling, playing the guitar, and volleyball. Favorite quote, Dom Spiro Spero, while I breathe, I hope, by Marcus Tullius Cicero. Well, I tell you, if you no chop, where you go get the breathe. Help me welcome our timer for today, Toastmaster Alufemi Vincent, to come nourish us with his role. Mr. Timer, are you there?
You're muted if you're speaking, Toastmaster Femi. We can see you. You're muted again.
Okay. Let me just take the role of the timer while he sorts his mic out. These are the challenges of a virtual call. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I'm here to stand in as the timer of the day, and the role of the timer is to time the prepared speeches and the evaluation and to ensure that this meeting is kept on track. Now, for the purpose of this meeting, in the event that a speech, for the prepared speeches, we have about 4 of them, and each of these speeches are supposed to last between 5 to 7 minutes. Now, for speakers that are on the call, when you are on the 5 minute mark, 5 minute 30 seconds mark, I'm going to share a green background. When you are on the 6 minute 30 seconds mark, I'm going to share the yellow background. And when you are on the 7 minute mark, the red background will show, and you have 30 seconds to wrap up your speech. For the evaluations, it is expected to last between 2 to 3 minutes, and the green background will be shared at the 2 minute mark. The yellow background will be shared at the 2 minutes 30 seconds mark, and on the 3 minute mark, the red background will be shared, and you have 30 seconds to wrap up your evaluation. For the table topics, it's expected to also last between 2 to 3 minutes, and we'll share the same format that the speech evaluations will go, stating that the green background will be shared on the 2 minute mark, the yellow background will be shared on the 2 minute 30 seconds mark, and the red background will be shared on the 3 minute mark. Thank you, and it's back to you, the general evaluator.
Thank you very much, Osai Chidi, for stepping in. For Toastmaster Femi, maybe he went to have a meal. You know, we like observing table rules. Observing table, do not talk with food in your mouth. Okay. My role as a general evaluator is to nourish you towards the end of this meeting with how we fared on this meeting. I will also call upon all our role players in the evaluation section to tell us how we fared in the different sections, with time, with grammar, with our confabulations. With that, I'd like to hand over the reins of this meeting to the Toastmaster of the day to please carry on and ensure that we are well nourished with today's function. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Ubong, and hello everyone again. I'm Toastmaster Esther, and I'm excited to welcome you to Pecten Toastmasters meeting. It is now time for table topic session. And for those who do not know about table topic session, it is the time in Toastmasters meeting when we call on guests and sometimes even seasoned speakers to speak off the cuff. We give you an option to choose a fun topic, and then you get to speak for just a minute. Give us your ideas, give us your thoughts, come practice how you speak when you're asked. And to handle this amazing session that is going to be very nourishing for your brain, your body, and your mind, we have our table topics master. Our table topics master today is a data scientist and energy professional. He is currently a member of Pecten Toastmasters Club, and he's on the leadership path. He loves watching tennis, watching good movies, playing football, and listening to music. His favorite quote is by himself, and it says, "As long as we live, hope remains eternal." Welcome to the virtual elected Toastmaster Linus Osai Chidi. Toastmaster Linus, over to you.
Thank you very kindly once again, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests, and welcome to one of my favorite parts of a Toastmasters meeting. This is the table topic session where people come and speak without prior practice or without prior notification on what they're about to speak about. This is an unprepared speech, and they are supposed to speak spontaneously. Now, in this session, we have a few numbers, and first, we would like to encourage the guests to join in and speak off the cuff. However, we'll start with a seasoned Toastmaster on the call. Do I have volunteers for this? Oh, I see Toastmaster Toby Lover's hands up. Yes, I need more volunteers also. While Toastmaster Toby Lover takes the lectern, I see Alex Agbotia's hands up. These are seasoned Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen. I want the guests to take up the challenge also. So, Toastmaster Toby Lover, I have 10 table topics questions, numbered 1 to 10. And I would like you to pick one, any of the numbers from 1 to 10, so that I could read out the question for you, and then you will give us a speech within 1 or 2 minutes.
Great,
Over
thank
to
you
you,
very
Toastmaster
much.
Tony.
I will be selecting number 7, and that's because today's date is 7, and it's also my childhood friend's birthday, so 7.
Oh, great. So if you also watch football, 7 is also a very important number in football and one of my favorite numbers in football. So Toastmaster Toby Lover, here's your question. In what ways can service be a catalyst for transformation in society? In what ways? In what ways can service be a catalyst for transformation in society?
Thank you very much. There is a common saying that goes, you cannot give what you don't have. So, how can service be used as a catalyst for transformation in society? First of all, let's adjust our perspective and rethink what the act of service means in the context of transformation and in the context of society. Many times when you see people act in a certain way, it comes from a place of paying it forward. And that's why I say you can't give what you don't have. So when you have stood in the path or on the side of being a beneficiary, you really understand that service can change things, it can change lives. But the how is what we're here to discuss. So I'll share 2 hows. Many times you can't really explain to people by words of mouth how they can get back from giving. But when you do it and people are on the receiving end, they tend to understand better that this is what I need to do to make the next person sitting beside me happy. Then another how is many times what is really required is action to get things done. And when it comes to complex systems like society, we you can use service as a catalyst such that you try to build from upwards downwards. So you give to one is able to give to two is able to give to four is able to give to 8. And with that, you have a catalyst. And with that, you find that the nourishment trickles from the top down. And in no time, when you're looking back, you see that you have indeed triggered change and made change and put people in the line of change. It's back to you, to table topics coordinator.
Thank you. Thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Elizabeth Akinwoluwa Tobiloba. That's your full government name that I just called, just to know, just to tell people that I know you, you know. But thank you for bailing the cat. And I would like to also call on the next hand that went up. I saw Toastmaster Agboti's hands up as he changed his mind. Do I see any other hands up? Toastmaster Alex, are you still on the call? Do we have any other volunteers for table topics on the call?
Yes, I am. I think I touched
Okay.
something. I don't know. I was trying to be compliant with the background before the president comes for me, but I couldn't. So here it goes.
Okay. All right. Toastmaster Alex, welcome to the virtual lectern. Toastmaster Tobiloba has just picked number 7 out of numbers 1 to 10. So we have numbers 8 to 10 available and numbers 1 to 6 available. Kindly pick a number and then we can tell you what
You
we
have
would
number
like you
10
to speak.
available.
Yes, number 10 is
All
available.
right. It's the 10th month of the year and my birth month. So go with 10.
Congratulations, happy birthday, and if it's belated, belated happy birthday also. So, Toastmaster Alex, imagine you are the chef of change What's your secret recipe for inspiring others? Imagine you are the chef of change. What is your secret recipe for inspiring others? Lecture is yours.
All right, thank you very much. The table topics master. Everything about today is about chef cooking, and I'm beginning to wonder how I can put a recipe that would actually match the topic of the day. Now, if I want change, change is one thing everybody is afraid of. Change is one thing we are afraid to welcome. But however, if you really want to nurture the future, you have to embrace change. And one of the recipe for change for me has always been for you to have this mindset that a failure story is always best told in success. This reason is because every move you make today, just because you think you're not going to make it to the next level, you think the world is going past you. So the recipe for change is believing that failure is a tool for you to get to the next level. And it is always inspiring when you get to the next level or the page of your life. One of the ingredients that would have taken you there will be failure and how you manage failure. And then you will now be discussing or inspiring others from a position of success. And then is what failure as a recipe brings to change, brings to success, brings to motivation, brings to inspiration. So you want to be that change? Always remember, a failure story is always best told in success. Don't let failure deter you. See failure as an ingredient for change, success, inspiration, and motivation. Thanks for your time, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you very, very much, Toastmaster Alex. Spoken like a seasoned Toastmaster, reminding me a lot of one of my favorite actors, also Chidi Mokeme. I like your poise. I love the way even your beers is looking like Chidi Mokeme's beers. So, Toastmaster Alex, thanks for speaking for about the agent of change. And I'm going to, because of time, we have one more hand. And we're going to just take Toastmaster GBK Oshodi's hands and then we can call it a day. So, Toastmaster GBK Oshodi, please confirm that you're on the call, you could hear us, and you're ready to go for table topics.
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster GBK. And we have numbers 1 to 6 remaining, with numbers 8 and 9 also available. Kindly pick a number and we will share what we would like you to speak on.
Okay. Thank you. Could I have number 5, please?
Yes, number 5 is available and will be served to you. And here is your question on number 5. Toastmaster GBK, which one ingredient do you think is essential for creating meaningful change in your community? Which one ingredient do you think is essential for creating meaningful change in your community?
Thank you very much for that question. So what meaningful ingredient is necessary for creating change in a community? As we all know, a community is a set of people who are from the same geographical location, and they're bound together either by the geographical location or by race or by language or by religion. There's something holding them together. That's a community. Even the church is a community, so is a school. So what necessary ingredient do you need for imbibing change in a community? First of all, you have to have a leader that wants to initiate change. When we hear about the transformation of Dubai, India, Singapore, we see leaders who want to inspire change. So I think the most essential ingredient in a community to inspire change is a leader, someone who knows the way, who paves the way, and who emulates the way for the rest of the community to follow. That's the only way you can inspire change. As I said, a community is a group of people. You might have somebody inspiring change in a family, in a church, in an office, even in Toastmasters. So the one essential, I think, catalyst ingredient is the leader who sets the vision and sets the tone for the rest of the community to follow. So that is the essential ingredient. There are other things, like the followers must be willing to inspire change. They must be able, and change must be communicated. But the leader is the essential ingredient to inspire change. Thank you very much for that question.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Judith. Thank you for speaking about the catalyst for change and the necessary ingredient for change. And I will now hand back over to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you, Toastmaster Ese.
Thank you so much, our table topics master, Toastmaster Linus. And thank you, Toastmaster Jibike, Toby, and Alex for participating in the table topics section. So hope we all enjoyed it, and we're delighted to have had you all participate actively in this session. It is now time for the second part of our Toastmasters meeting, which is the manual speeches. This is where we have seasoned Toastmasters give and present speeches as part of their pack, and they will be evaluated also by seasoned Toastmasters. And for this session, I would like to introduce our first evaluator. Our first speech evaluator today will be distinguished Toastmaster Chuks Wambweze, who's an energy professional. He's the immediate past division director and a member of All City Speakers Club. He's completed the innovative planning and visionary communication parts. He loves experimenting with music and experiencing football. His favorite quote, "Where you are born is never as important as what's born in you." Toastmaster Chuks, the virtual lectern is yours.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. I was hoping to buy 5 more seconds to establish some calm, but I hope I have gotten it now. So this is me being James Bond. Toastmasters and guests, it's lovely to be here again. Today we'll be kicking off the manual speech segment with a manual speech from yours sincerely, someone whose voice you've already heard in the course of this meeting. Toastmaster Dr. Ese Ogene Okerika will be delivering an icebreaker to us today titled World Domination Nourish. No. Let me call that properly. World Domination 101. Toastmasters guests, it's time for us to learn. In Toastmasters Circle, icebreakers are the first step that a Toastmaster takes in their journey towards building or improving their communication and leadership skills. But today, this is not Toastmaster Ese's first step. This is not her second step either, because this is at least her third part in these circles. So because of that, we will be expecting a bit more, a lot more, but let us be the judge. You and I provide some feedback at the end of this, and this will last for 4 to 6 minutes. Timer, please take note. With that said, I'll hand this, I will make the formal introduction because she is our Toastmaster of the day. So ladies, gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests, for a speech titled World Domination 101, let's welcome Toastmaster Ese Ogene Okerika.
Hello, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Ese, like writing an essay, and I have joined the motivational strategies path. This would actually be my 4th path in Toastmasters. And you would wonder, 4th path? Ese, why? Well, because I need guidance on world domination. Don't worry, I know when you hear world domination, you might think, oh my God, is she trying to be a super villain? Do we need to call on the Marvel Avengers? Don't worry, I'm not plotting to take over the planet. Yes, I like rings, but I do not plan to get any rings that is going to close everywhere. My world in this context is my career, my impact, and my global ambitions. And yes, maybe my slightly dramatic dreams of not only being the center of attention, but also being part of the C-suite someday. When I turned 30, I read a line from one of my favorite poets called Alice Notley, and it's titled 30th Birthday. And it says, "May I never be afraid, especially of myself." That became an anchor for how I decided to view my third decade on Earth. It's been both a challenge and a promise to not only stop underestimating myself, but even to lean into the unknown when it terrifies me. And that line, "May I never be afraid, especially of myself," has guided every leap I've taken ever since. The beautiful thing about being on the motivational strategies path is it's an opportunity for you to become a powerful and effective communicator. So you get to learn how to build connections with people around you, how to understand and motivate people, and how to lead groups to accomplish tasks. This is a goal that you need when you want to be part of the C-suite. In case you've never heard of the C-suite before, it just means alphabet C and suite. And it usually refers to the top executives in companies. So when you hear CEO for Chief Executive Officer, or CFO for Chief Financial Officer, or CTO for Chief Technical Officer. So they're like the chiefs in a company, but usually they help in how organizations make strategic decisions, how they set the tone, how they mark success. And I know that in my next decade, I want to be part of that C-suite. There is a quote I love by writer Wayne Dyer that says, "Examine the labels you apply to yourself. Every label is a boundary or limit you will not let yourself cross." One of the beautiful gifts I've gotten since being part of Toastmasters is the kind of labels it has given me. The kind of labels I have also given myself when I feel afraid, when I feel excited, when I'm trying to be ambitious, but even more importantly, the labels I see that other people bear. So I got to look at people who I wanted to be like, people who I saw that had CEO and CFO and chief sustainability officers, and who seemed to command this trust, respect, attention, and even make decisions that could impact lives. And I noticed something among them in terms of how they showed up, in terms of the communities they were part of, even in terms of the education they had. And so I still very remember that day in 2020, while still going through my very first part in Toastmasters as a visionary communicator, where I decided that, oh, everyone seems to have an MBA, so I'm going to get an MBA because I feel like this would definitely help me in my world domination plans. For context, I have a very STEM background, so I'm very science, environmental, and as at that time we were dealing with COVID, I was working, I was doing my PhD. So it seemed like a very almost ridiculous ambition. But may I never be afraid, especially of myself. And so I decided to apply for an MBA, an executive MBA. But the journey might seem very beautiful if you go on my LinkedIn, but trust me, it was far from that. There were three things that pushed me into doing this. One, do it afraid. I was worried about affording the education. I was worried about, I was in a different country, in a different life, how that would play out. But I told myself, I'm just going to try. Two, done is better than perfect. I tend to be a perfectionist. I have an eye for detail. I always wait for everything to align. So when I had to prepare for writing my executive exams, these were math exams. I had to learn theories. I had to do equations. I was designing parabolas. It was very stressful. But I told myself, you just need to get a good score. You don't need to get a perfect score. Like Sheryl Sandberg, famous entrepreneur and writer, says, progress would beat hesitation every single time because done is better than perfect. And the third thing is that you have to trust that the path will unfold faster than you expect. When I decided to do this MBA, I already had collected all the information the last 4 years. And so as soon as admissions opened in August, I was applying against next year, 2026. Well, guess what happened? I got feedback and they're like, "Hi, SA. It turns out we know you're applying for this one, but you actually qualified to be part of our program this year. You're an amazing candidate. Your scores are so high." And I was like, "Oh, this is cool, but I actually can't afford it." And they're like, "Oh, because of how well you scored, we're actually giving you up to $25,000 in scholarship." Toastmasters and guests, It seems so insane and amazing to me. But again, to those 3 points I make, doing it afraid, making sure that Dawn was better than perfect in whatever I scored, and then trusting that the path would unfold. Now, I am so excited because my world domination plans are in full gear. As I pursue my global ambitions and I want to be a good executive leader, Alice Notley line stays with me. May I never be afraid, especially of myself. So that's what I'm going to do. Always moving, always trying, and hopefully dominating in more ways than I can ever think possible. Thank you, and it's back to you. Toastmaster of the day.
That's you taking the reins again.
Oh, that's true. Thank you so much, and thank you, everyone. Thank you, Toastmaster SA, for that nourishing speech. We are now delighted to welcome our second speech evaluator. Just a prompt to our VPE. What is currently being shared is your browser tab. And our second speech evaluator today would be distinguished Toastmaster Alex Agocha, who works in crisis and risk management. He is a member of Delta Africa Toastmasters Club, and he loves to play lawn tennis. His favorite quote, "Every failure story is best told in success." Toastmaster Alex, the virtual lectern is yours to introduce our next speaker. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. The TMOD of the day. I don't want to be the evaluator of your speech, but I tell you, I wish it never ended. We'll get back to that. But today, I am privileged to be evaluating one of our finest, a delectable lady of the lantern, who will be making her presentation on the Mastery Part Level 2, Project 1, Understanding Your Communication Style. Toastmasters is all about taking you from talking stage to speaking stage. And if you master your communication style, I believe this is the best path to go. In making this presentation, the speaker is expected to tell us different style of communication. The speaker is also allowed to use humor to drive home their point and also to be able to communicate fluently and coherently. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, if you are not busy, our speaker for today, who will be gracing the legend to nourish us with her speech, will be TM Mina Allison. And the speech title is Data to Dialogue. The speech is supposed to be from 5 to 7 minutes. I believe she will nourish us within the allotted time. Back to you, the TMOD of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Alex. And our speaker is Toastmaster Mina Allison. Data to dialogue, Toastmaster Mina. Toastmaster Mina, data to dialogue. The virtual lectern is yours.
Why is no one responding to my email? That was the question running through my mind as I kept refreshing my inbox for the 10th time. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. So I had written what I thought was the very perfect message. It was clear. All the facts were on point. I even attached a spreadsheet. But you see, the days went by. The silence. No reply. No acknowledgement. Nothing. At first I thought maybe people were just busy. But then deep down, I started to wonder, was the problem really the message or the messenger? So a few weeks later, during a leadership development session, I finally found the answer. I read about communication styles, and then we had the opportunity to talk about communication styles, the analytical, the direct, initiating communication style, and of course, the supportive. one of the things mentioned was, something that completely changed how I saw communication. We don't see the world as this. We see it just as we are. It was a light bulb moment for me. I realized I communicated just the way I think, with data, with structure, and logic. That's a typical analytical style, and that is my style. I love details, precision. I love clarity. To me, a spreadsheet is worth 1,000 words. But you see, not everyone understood that kind of language. Some people need energy, they need some enthusiasm, not evidence, while some would actually crave empathy. And others, well, they just want, go straight to the point, bottom line. First, some months back, I had a project review meeting with my team. I came prepared. My laptop was in my hand. I looked at my slides, perfectly aligned, charts ready to impress. I launched into my presentation with full confidence. Had the data, had trends, analysis, all the recommendation, everything. But halfway through, I noticed something was wrong. I was presenting. One person was scrolling through their phones. Another was just staring out the window. And everybody looked lost, completely disconnected. And then it hit me. I was speaking my language, not theirs. So I closed my laptop, took a deep breath, and said, you know what? Let's pause for a moment. Just imagine that we are delivering food to a remote site. And halfway through that journey, cold storage facility fails. Suddenly, heads turned. People leaned forward, eyes lit up. Now they were in my story. They could see it and they could feel it. So after that, I went back to the numbers. But this time, they meant something. The discussions that used to drag for an hour ended up in 15 minutes. We not only found a solution, we found understanding. The experience taught me something, that being analytical is purely my strength. But the communication isn't just about what I say, it's about what others hear. So sometimes that means telling a story, before showing a chart. It can also mean asking questions before offering answers. And it may simply mean just listening more than speaking. I realized that good communication don't just inform, it nourishes understanding. It feeds your collaboration and then it strengthens relationship. So I'd like to conclude by saying, knowing your preferred communication style is just the first step. The real magic happens when you can adapt, when you speak not just with your head, but with your heart. I still love my data, my charts, my bullet points, but now I start with a story. Because numbers make you think. Or you know what stories does? They actually make you feel. And when you can make people both think and feel, I think that's when communication truly happens. And that's where the connection really happens. I will end with one of my favorite quotes by George Bernard Shaw. He's an Irish playwright and a critic who said, the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster. All right. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nina, for that very, very awesome speech. I would now like to call on our next giveaway. Okay, no. I would now like to call on, before I call on the next person I'll be calling, in Pecten Toastmasters, because we like to nourish your mind, nourish your soul, nourish your sense of excitement, we just want to make sure that you get the full effect. We've also said we have these amazing, gorgeous, fantastic, fabulous people who are joining our meeting. And maybe they feel too shy to speak in table topics. Maybe they've not yet finished sending all the money to our VPE to register as members, so they are not yet giving manual speeches. But we still want them to feel like they're part of us. We want them to feel connected. Toastmasters is all about communication. And so we decided we want to interact with everyone who's in our meeting today. If you're a member, if you're a guest, whether or not I can see your video or your audio, call yourself iPhone, Samsung, Basi, Ekuchi, Chris, whoever you are, this is the time for you. We are calling on you to interact with us. We want to get to know you. We want to interact with you. And to handle this session, I'm delighted to welcome back our Madam President, Toastmaster Olen. Toastmaster Olen, the virtual lecture is yours. Let's nourish everyone together. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. I couldn't stop laughing when you said maybe your dues money is not complete and we just go past due season. Everybody's welcome. That's how we do here. Good evening again, Toastmasters and guests. And this time, I want to know how many of you are happy that we have like game session because this fun stuff. I've come here to test how much you think you know. I'm that audacious, right? How many people are happy that they're here and how many people want to go ahead with me? Now, I have just 5 minutes to do this. What this means again is that I can only depend on you people so that we do everything in 5 minutes. Otherwise, Toastmaster essay will chase me off the lectern. So let's start with round one. So you think you know home edition. I'm going to reveal something to you, and you tell me whether you think it's the brand name or the real name. So I'll ask you, what is this? And then you give me a name. And then we all decide whether it's the brand name or the real name. All right. So moving on. What's first? What is this called? Oh, please feel free to unmute at this point, everybody. We need to hear your voices. Ah, Egbami.
Noodles.
Okay, noodles.
Instant noodles.
Amen.
Ramen. Okay.
All right. So what's the real name for this?
Noodles.
Noodles.
Instant
Exactly. Indomie is the brand name. Okay. So let's move on to the next one. What's this called?
Petroleum
jelly.
You are very smart.
on the container.
That's the real name. Okay.
I
So
almost said Vaseline.
what's this called?
Maggie, of course. Bouillon cube.
Seasoning.
Bouillon cube.
Everybody
Bouillon
just say
cube.
Maggie. God, I beg help us. Yes. So it's seasoning cube or onion cubes, as they are called. What's this called?
Antiseptic.
I said this.
I have very smart people here. I'm sure some people just shouted Dettol. Yeah, it's an antiseptic. Fantastic. So that's all is the brand name, while antiseptic would be, or antiseptic liquid would be the real name. What's this called? All of you.
Polythene bag.
Cellophane bag.
Nylon bag.
Thank you for saying waterproof because you are a legit Nigerian.
Waterproof.
All right, so these are polyethylene bags or polythene bags as we commonly call them, and that's what we call them. So what's this?
Detergent.
Detergent.
So
Somebody still have my to shout.
Detergent. Powdered soap.
I love the
Powder detergent.
So this is actually called a detergent. Yeah.
Detergent.
What's this called?
Diapers.
Oh, diaper.
Or Pampers for the window. You're not taking Pampers away from us.
All right, so they're called diapers. I think in British English they call diapers.
Nappies.
In American they're called nappies. Yes, I think I got a
Napkin.
distinction the first time we shared this. All right, we're done with that part. So round two, country edition. Let's make this very quick because we're behind time. Number 1, what country is this?
Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Thank you. What's
so
this?
Japan.
Japan.
What's this?
Canada.
Thank you.
Oh my God! Wow!
Canada,
Oh!
true. I almost said
I wanted to
Dostada
say
or something.
Dosbinada.
That's something.
Does be nada. I like that. Does be nada.
What's this called?
Paper bag.
Potato.
So it's a paper bag minus the bag. What would it give you? Look at the bag very well. A paper bag minus the bag, what would it give you?
Baghdad.
What's on the bag?
Oil.
A better refined word for it.
Stain.
So another word you use for oil, but from a if a dietitian was talking about, what did you say?
Greece.
Awesome. So what country is this then?
Greece. Greece. Oh my God.
Greece bag.
Greece minus the bag.
the bag.
Okay, minus.
Minus
the bag is Greece.
Oh.
All right.
Iceland.
What country is this?
Iceland.
Are you guys sure? Plus EO.
No, plus E. No, it's not.
Should I take your school fees back? Because you guys are not thinking right now.
Oh,
Let's go. It's somewhere in the Southern American continent. Big go. No, it ends with E.
Chile.
Thank you. What's that?
Wow. Who said that?
Thank you. Thanks, people, for that. All right.
Thank you.
Now this one is fun, guys. Figure it out.
Angry gas driving away the car.
Madagascar.
Madagascar.
All right.
Madagascar.
This one should be easy for all of you.
Brazil.
Brazil.
What's this one called?
Bye-bye cup.
Haiti.
Haiti. Is that how it's called? Haiti?
Yes, Haiti. Yeah. Haiti.
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 I thought it was Haiti. Haiti.
It's Haiti.
Haiti.
What's this one called?
Haiti.
Pakistan.
Thank
Pakistan.
Pakistan.
Why can I
Ask
not
people on this
right
class,
now?
huh? Let's tell us. This one?
Iran.
All right. Thanks, guys. Back to you, Toastmasters today. I hope you had fun, guys. Take care.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Wow. Thank you so much. That was such a fun interactive session. I would definitely not have gotten Chile and so many more. Like Dosbinstan, Canada, Dosbinstan. This was so fun. Thank you everyone who participated. I hope you loved it. We got to learn about countries, and that's always a good way to learn. And you see, this is why you should always be part of Pecten Toastmasters. We get to, we nourish your minds, nourish your sense of excitement, and teach you fun ways to learn about the geography of this continent we all live in. It is now time. I'm just checking Toastmaster Imabong. I see your hand is up, so I don't know if you had a question, or if you're not certain, you can just bring your hand down. Awesome. Thank you so much. It is now time for us to go back to our speeches. And for the next speech, we will be calling on our speech evaluator. Our speech evaluator today would be Toastmaster Ekuchi Joy James. She's a biomedical scientist and a data analyst. She is currently the immediate past president for Pecten Toastmasters Club, and she's on the persuasive influence path. She loves watching exciting shows, traveling, spending time with family, and making money. And her favorite quote is by renowned philanthropist Henry Ford that says, "Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right." Toastmaster Ekuchi Joy James, the virtual lectern is yours to introduce our next speaker. Over to you.
Thank you very much, the very beautiful Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, everyone. It's always a pleasure, rather. I'm glad to be here. I'll quickly introduce the next speaker. Our next speaker is someone who I particularly enjoy listening to. She's relatively new to the game, but every time she comes on, there's something exciting to look forward to. Toastmaster Shakira. I'm not going to try to pronounce the surname. I'll just keep it as Shakira and then maybe go to her later for tutorials on how to pronounce the last name. She's on the Presentation Mastery Pathway Level 2, and this is her third project. It's Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring. She's supposed to speak for 5 to 7 minutes, and her topic is the shoulders I stand on. I expect nothing short of amazing from Toastmaster Shakira today, and I'm hoping that she does what she does best. I'll come back when I'm called upon to give an evaluation of her speech. Thank you, and it's back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Madam IPP. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Shakira. Toastmaster Shakira will be giving a speech titled The Shoulders I Stand On. The Shoulders I Stand On, Toastmaster Shakira. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. Good Sir Isaac Newton, a 17th century mathematician and physician, once said, "If I ever see further, it is because I stand on the shoulders of giants. Nobody grows alone." When I look back at my journey, I see 3 remarkable mentors who became my giants. At home, at work, and here in Toastmasters. Each has shaped different parts of who I am today, and their influence continue to echo in my life. Good evening, Toastmasters and amazing guests. To begin, let us journey home. My very first coach was my grandmother, Alaja Fatima Ojibara, a woman of strength, grace, and quiet authority. She never called it mentoring, but her kitchen was my classroom. And unlike my syllabus, whenever I became impatient as a child, she would smile and say to me in Yoruba, "Ọmọ mi, gbogbo ló ní àkókò tiẹ̀," which translates to in English, "My child, everything has its appointed time." I learned resilience from her, not through grand speeches, but through the way she lived. Even in difficult times, she nurtured others, stood firm, and led with kindness. Even though she's no longer physically here with us, her teachings continue to guide me through life, and her lessons became the foundation of mentorship which other mentors built upon. As I became older, I grew beyond home, and I stepped into professional world where new challenges required new guidance. And that is where I met my manager, Ugochukwu Nwaudu, the man that shaped my professional mindset. I remember one Monday morning when I stepped into his office after messing up a very big project. I had already braced myself up for criticism. Guess what? He looked at me calmly and said, "What did you learn?" You see, that one question flipped the script for me. He didn't focus on blame, he focused on growth. Ugochukwu had a thing where he would give me responsibilities even when I felt I wasn't ready for it. Anytime I hesitated to take up a project, he would say, "Growth doesn't wait for comfort. Step up." And guess what? I did. Under his mentorship, I learned to take ownership, make bold decisions, and see setbacks as stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. As my professional life was taking shape, another journey was unfolding quietly, the one where I found my voice here in Toastmasters. I remember my very first meeting in Toastmasters. It felt as if I stepped onto a stage where everybody had the script except for me. And that is where Toastmaster Olem came in. She became my go-to person, somebody I could ask anything without fear of feeling lost. She guided me through my icebreaker speech and other speeches, encouraged me to take up on roles, and even celebrated my little victories. I remember the cause I'll give to her. Imagine, I presented her work today. Oh my God, I did so well. Everyone was happy for me. We'll be happy together. Even when I doubted myself, she would say, relax, you got this. Under her mentorship, I did not just learn how to speak. I learned how to take up my own space, share stories confidently, and inspire others. Reflecting on my journey, each of my mentor shares add their own unique thing that they impute in me. From my grandma, I learned patience and resilience. From Ugochukwu Nwaudu, I gained professional confidence and clarity. From Toastmaster Olem, I discovered my own voice. Now, I'm the one that speaks and everybody wants to listen to in the boardroom. Even here in Pecten, now I speak without feeling anxious. Mentorship isn't about one person answering all the questions. It is when people see potential in you, walk beside you, and gently push you to it. So today I stand tall, not because I climbed alone. It is because I stand on their shoulders. And as Newton's words remind us, standing on the shoulders of giants allow us to see further than we ever could. So if you have a mentor, cherish them. If you do not, get one, and someday be one, because the impact of mentorship does not end with you, it multiplies. Thank you very much, and it's back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Amazing. As well, a giant who I know you would also be one of those giants that we would have more people standing up on. You're so amazing, and that was such a delightful speech. I'm sure your evaluator will be giving you great feedback. Well done, Toastmaster Shakira. It is now time for us to meet our fourth speaker and our fourth evaluator. Our fourth evaluator today would be Toastmaster Dr. Taria DBC. She's an occupational.
Sorry, it's me.
Okay. Oh, okay. Our fourth speech evaluator will be Toastmaster Olem. And we've already met Toastmaster Olem, so I'm just going to have her come in and introduce our next speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster Olem.
Thank you so much, the Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, everyone, once again. Today, I will be evaluating Toastmaster Chigozie Dingber's speech on the innovative planning path. He's on level 3. This is his final project, so congratulations in advance because I know you're going to deliver on this one. The purpose of his speech is for him to present a proposal. And in this speech, I'm looking forward to seeing Toastmaster Chigozie presenting to us a proposal from some area of his life. I'm also looking to see a well-organized speech. And he might actually decide to present the entire proposal or some aspects of it. Toastmaster Chigozie, you've been here many times. So we look forward to having a delightful speech. And I would say just break a leg if you can. And it's back to you, the Toastmaster of the Day, for his introduction. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Olem. I would now like to welcome our next speaker, Toastmaster Chigozie Dingber, Reuniting with Purpose. Reuniting with Purpose, Toastmaster Chigozie. The virtual lecture is yours.
Good evening, distinguished classmates and friends. This presentation is a proposal to you all that graduated from Federal Government College Okigwe, and it's a proposal or a plan designed to reconnect all of us, rebuild our friendship, and reignite the bond. The time and the distance have slowly stretched away from us. 32 years ago, we left the four walls of our beloved alma mater. And since then, we've taken different pathways. Some of us have achieved very remarkable success, but others are still struggling, trying to find their footing in life. But beyond our differences, we share one unbreakable link: the experiences, the childhood experiences that shaped our life. The purpose of this, my proposal, is very simple. And it's just to bring our class together again, not just for fun or for nostalgia, but as a pathway to build a network of mutual support, friendship, and purpose. And I call this proposal Reuniting for Purpose. Because this reunion isn't just about looking back. It's not just about moving forward, but it's about moving forward together as a united family. Remember, when we left that school, what we wrote on the walls of our school may have faded, but what will never fade is the memories we had as youths. And I repeat again that after 32 years, when we left our dreams, laughters, and big plans, we're here 3 decades. I mean 3 decades, still connected by invisible threads. But if we are honest, and let me be clear, the bond is still alive. For 32 years, we've only managed just 1 class reunion, and that was 8 years ago. And I don't think, and I will not call that success. I think we just managed 1 reunion, and I think it is total failure after 32 years. So today I appear with a proposal, not just to hold an event, but to reignite our classmates. As Helen Keller said, alone we can do so little, but together we can do a lot more. Also, an adage in my village once stated that 1 person can cook for the community and the community will not finish, but the community can cook for 1 person and that person may not be able to finish the food, no matter how nourishing it is. Let me go straight to the point. Some of us are CEOs, some of us are professors, some of us are consultants, some of us are entrepreneurs, but some of us are still struggling to find food to eat, especially in this particular time when we are remembering about the World Food Day, trying to feed those that cannot feed themselves. A class reunion is the bridge between the past and the future. When we reconnect, we share memories, and when we share memories, we get to share network, and we tend to share what we can do to prosper our lives. So here's my plan, and it's called the Reunion Planning Framework. And number 1, my strategy is to form a 20-member team, diverse team, gender, faith, geography. The 20-member team essentially will be delegated to bring 3 different members that will attend that reunion. Out of that 20 and 3 members each, we're going to have 120 classmates already authenticated if every member does their job. We have 170 in that class. So if you have 120 with a failure rate of about 20%, we'll be getting about 80%. We have over more than half of our class members in that reunion. And that is how exactly we'll move from, I think I'll bout it, to count me in, I'm in the reunion. Strategically, we'll meet every month. And monthly meetings will be done virtually and at times physically for those that are in a common area. The venue for the meeting is going to be, for the reunion, is going to be in Lagos. Lagos because we're schooled in Nigeria, Lagos because it's central, it has a major international airport, and everybody can stream in conveniently and we'll have enough hotels to host. Then it's going to be a 4-day lockdown rekindle friendship party to celebrate our shared journey. The drama, Thursday, arrival, welcome cocktail, venue, Bay Lounge by the Lagoon. Highlights, laughter, light music, old friends, sit down, meet and greet, enjoy yourself. Friday morning, we start with morning workouts at upbeat. Because we've survived FGC or kick cross country running around, we can handle this. A few push-ups, a few frog jumps, laughter, music, breakfast after that. Then in the afternoon, we move down to Ileguchi Beach, where we're going to have lockdown a beach house, and we're going to have a lockdown party. But then, before the lockdown party, we're going to have our annual general meeting, which will essentially be exciting because that will be the main crux of the meeting. We're going to discuss very serious things. We're going to discuss how we treat our welfare, how we treat our people, how we carry our people along, and how we can network. After that, We'll have the all-white beach party. We'll have the bonfire, the karaoke, the dance hall, the party jam, and we just let it loose. Good to let it loose because that will allow us to freely network. Saturday, we move to the conservation center at Lekki, and in the evening, we have our gala dinner and awards night. Sunday, it will be breakfast and everybody depart and say goodbye. Technically, tax will be shared, networks will be made. And how do we fund? First of all, to be three-tier funding model. Number one, anchor fund. Those that can bring in over 2, 3, 4, 5 million are going to be factored in, and they're going to contribute. We're going to use that money to secure and lock down a complete accommodation at Eco Hotel where everybody's going to be accommodated, whether you can afford it or not. Then we'll set up a modest delegate fee of equal contribution for participation. Then we can call for corporate sponsorship. This approach will ensure fairness, inclusion, and pride. And as someone once said, the best reunions are the ones where no one feels like a guest, but everyone feels like a member. So, ladies and gentlemen, my dearest beloved classmates, this is not just another party. It's creating a shared story that keeps us going, and I call it 93 to infinity. Let us approve this proposal today. Let us form this committee now. Let us plan an event that will continue to reunite us, but remind us that we are truly brothers and sisters, and from the same alma mater, still bound by friendship and purpose, because reunions shouldn't just be about remembering the past. It should be about rebuilding our future. And together we can. Thank you very much.
Toastmaster Chigozie, I know you have convinced us, and please, I need to be at that party. I don't understand, like, everyone, that was so amazing. Toastmaster Chigozie, you overmarketed, oversold. I don't know, do I need to travel back in time and join your alumni? What's the way forward? Do I need to date someone in your class? Like, just let me know how it's gonna work. But I feel like as Toastmasters, we all get free invitations. We need to know how. That was such an amazing and delightful speech. I love the purpose behind this reunion, and I am so delighted to hear about it. I'm so excited for it. Thank you so much for that wonderful speech. And yeah, if you check the charts, there are a lot of reactions where people are asking, people want to attend. You have so many guests who want to attend. So please just, honestly, if you're interested, I think I can say this, Madam President, but if you are a paid member of Pecten, you get priority invitation. I am sure we'll work out the logistics, but once you become a paid Pecten member, you can leave the other clubs. I see people from Uyo clubs. Leave Uyo, come to Pecten, and you attend the party. That's one suggestion already. It is now time for us to get our feedback from our timer on how well we did the time for all our manual speeches.
Chemodi, yes, you have one item there on the itinerary.
Okay.
Please check.
Sorry?
Please check the itinerary.
Okay. That is I want to say the danger. Yeah, the next thing I have is timing report for the prepared speeches. So just confirming if that has changed.
Oh, that's fine. I thought we were going into evaluation, so which was why I
Oh, okay. No, I said for our timers report. Thanks. Toastmaster, just confirming, I know Toastmaster Linus had to serve as a backup because we had a bit of audio issue. So Toastmaster Femi, are you available to give the timing report, or Toastmaster Linus, will you be standing in? Okay.
I will be standing in for the timer. Okay. It was just here, and then I think it got some network challenges also, and it had to log off. Okay, so for all the prepared speeches, all the speakers were within time. Toastmaster Esegene spoke for 6 minutes 30 seconds. Toastmaster Mina spoke for 6 minutes 24 seconds. Toastmaster Shakira spoke for 5 minutes 55 seconds, and Toastmaster Chigozie Dimpa spoke for 6 minutes 50 seconds. And it's back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Amazing. Thank you so much for our timing updates, Toastmaster Linus. And the next would have is in Toastmasters. Yes, you've listened to us participate in table topics. You've listened to manual speeches. You've interacted and learned about different countries. But again, because we're so amazing, we want to nourish your mind, your soul. We want you to have a nourishing experience. We also have a time that is specified for us to welcome guests. So if this is your guest to this club, means this is your first time attending. You're also a guest if you're not a registered member. But if you're within the Toastmasters community, you can also decide to be a guest. But to handle that session, I would like to hand it back to our president, Toastmaster Olem. Toastmaster Olem, over to you for the guest welcome.
Thank you so much, TMOD. It's been such a delightful meeting, and I'm sure everyone who's been here has taken a thing or two. Our speeches today have been being served hot. So maybe when we said serve up change, we meant serve the speeches, yeah? Very hot and nice. So good evening, our guest on the call. Let me see. I see a Chris. I see. Okay, that's a Toastmaster. Onyinye, are you still on the call? Ibukun is officially a Toastmaster. That's Toastmaster Mohammed. I don't see so many guests on the call. Oh yes, I see Claire. Claire's on the call. Joy Ojakovo is also on the call. Victor is an intending Toastmaster. So yeah. And then visiting guests we have Wumi Bamidele. At least I know that name. Welcome every one of you to our meeting again. It's just a delight to host you and have you join us. I would just like one of you to just unmute and tell us how this meeting has been for you, the experience of the meeting. After which I would head back to the TMOD. Anybody willing to go really quick? Let's have it coming. Chris, Onyinye, Wumi, Claire, Joy, anyone audacious to serve it up? Anyone?
Hello.
Oh yeah, Wumi speaking. You have the lecture.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Olem. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. My name is Wumi Bamidele, and a guest. I would say ever since I've joined this group, ever since I've joined how will I describe it? The group, it has been nourishing from the speeches, from the networking parts. I think I would say this is one of the best decisions I've made, and this is one of the best groups I've joined this year, which is in line with my growth path for the year, the one I drew for the year. Thank you very much for nourishing our mind, for teaching us how to be audacious, to be bold and outspoken.
Thank you so much for me for just doing it and even doing it afraid if you were when you took on the lectern. That's what we admire and that's what we encourage. It's a safe space for you to do so. Thank you so much. And TMOD, I yield the lectern back to you to continue from where we stopped. Yeah.
Thank you, and thank you, guest Wumi, for joining. You've identified your path, and trust me, this is the right place for you to get a community who's willing and happy to support you. And you're already a Toastmaster. You use the word of the day, you use different forms, and you use it twice. Welcome, Claire, Joy, Victor, and all other guests on the call, and also our Toastmasters from other clubs. It is now time for a very big reveal. And how amazing that the person who will be doing this reveal is Toastmaster Chooks. So Toastmaster Chooks, over to you.
Toastmaster Dr. Essay, let me say that one more time. Toastmaster Dr. Essay, the way you are introducing me, and I suspect that this has not been hidden from you, my mission here today. Anyway, and your laughter confirms this. But Toastmasters guests and all our beloved friends of Pecten Toastmasters Club, there always comes a moment in time that defines our existence as individuals, our existence as a community. And today is one of such moments, and it is my utmost privilege to be making this momentous announcement, nourishing our existence today and our participation in this August meeting happening in October. In the world of Toastmasters, there are somewhere around 300,000 Toastmasters globally. We used to be more pre-COVID, we're getting there. And in that community, there is a select group of 1% of it. So less than, help my maths now, 300,000, 1%. Math student. You know the answer.
Less than 3,000.
less than 3,000. Thank you. Great math people there. Less than 3,000 globally who are in a select group re- referred to as distinguished Toastmasters. When I first joined this organization so many years ago, I looked upon them with such reverence and when will I ever become one of these? At some point, I did cross that milestone, but today is even more special because today we have our first distinguished Toastmaster being born out of Pecten Toastmasters Club. And I take this personal because I was mentor of this club when this club was birthed. So this is a win for me too, and I'm happy and I count it an utmost privilege to announce to us our first distinguished Toastmaster from Pecten Toastmasters Club, and hopefully ushering many, many more behind her. The sixth, I counted so that I'll prepare for this. The sixth distinguished Toastmaster in South Nigeria. So that's combining all of us in Uyo, PH, and all the Southeast, South parts of this country. So this is really significant for us. Ladies, gentlemen, Toastmasters guests, I hope you take in what this moment really means for us as a Toastmasters community and for Pecten as one of our greatest clubs in this country and even the world. Let's welcome our newest distinguished Toastmaster. And henceforth, I don't want to hear Toastmaster Doctor again. I will only hear distinguished Toastmaster DTM Doctor S.A. Ogene Okereka. Congratulations. This is such a beautiful moment. Congratulations. 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 And it's back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chooks. Thank you so much, Pecten Toast. I feel like I should give a speech. So even as Temple, I'm just going to say thank you so much. Yes, this was a journey, but it was not a journey done alone. So thank you and shout out to everyone, all the ESCOs, members, clubs that have helped in this journey. I'm very excited. Yes, I like the tag of DTM Doctor. So yes, call me DTM Doctor going forward. It is now time for us to move to the final stage of our Toastmasters meeting. At the beginning, I told you we had our table topics, we've had manual speeches, but in Toastmasters, in committing to those core values of respect, integrity, service, and excellence, the way to be excellent is getting feedback and improving. And so for that reason, we have our evaluation segment. And this is where we have all the seasoned Toastmasters that have been paying attention to everything happening during our meetings would come give us feedback on our speeches, on how well we did and how we can improve. And to handle that session, I'd like to welcome back to the virtual lecture our general evaluator, Toastmaster Ubong Ian. Toastmaster Ubong, the virtual lecture is yours.
All right, thank you very much, Toastmaster. Distinguished Toastmaster Olem. I almost missed that. Can you hear me?
Is distinguished Toastmaster SA, please, G. I don't want to get into trouble.
Toastmaster Pardon me. No more Toastmaster Doctor, distinguished Toastmaster. You're supposed to throw party now, throw small party, maybe call chop rice, wash the team, you know. It's interesting that you've risen to the peak of a Toastmaster's journey, and I acknowledge it. You have nurtured so many Toastmasters on this path. You've even nurtured yourself to that position, and it goes to inspire many to become more and look forward to becoming distinguished as well. All right. Now back to how we fared today. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for this? Let me have to call first on my list the evaluators of the speeches that all nurtured our minds from inspirational to informative to a blend of both and an invitation. Let's see how they fared as I call on evaluator number 1. for speaker one, evaluator for speaker one, in person of DTM Chooks Mwabweze. DTM Chooks Mwabweze, over to you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, General Evaluator, for the introduction. It's my utmost privilege again to be evaluating for the first time in her work as a DTM. DTM Esiogele Okerika's speech today titled World Domination 101. Again, what do we expect? An utterly brilliant speech today. It was an icebreaker, an opportunity to reintroduce yourself. It was really good that this wasn't pedantic, because over your first three parts, you would have gone through the gamut of telling us or through the whole process of telling us your family background, the few schools you've been in. But what really stood out today was how you pieced together elements of those from the past into this speech. The way you made reference to 2020 when you were on a previous part, visionary communication, without necessarily having to come to tell us you're listing all the three parts you've been in. I thought it was masterfully woven into your current place and where you are looking to go to, because that's the important part of this. Just beyond what you have been, helping us understand who you are is where you're looking to go to, and you're looking to get to world domination. And the next part to getting there is MBA. So really good all round good use of quotes. Again, at the very basics, we expect great structure, but with the DTM, we're not talking structure anyway anymore. We're going into the very rudiments. What could have been better with the speech today? My first recommendation will be for us to get to the place where we actually prepare for the introduction of our speeches. I thought you missed an opportunity today to talk to either myself as your evaluator or whoever would have been introducing your speech. But since you were TMOD, probably myself would have been best suited what you needed to be said before you get introduced, so that by the time you start off your speech, it is almost like you've entered into a different character. We see a different you from the kickoff, and that difference is sustained through the 4 to 6 minutes of the speech, and then you come back into the TMOD character at the end of the speech. But we lost that. It was a bit merged or submerged to one another. And the second one is just, again, the basics. You mentioned Sheryl Sandberg, and a number of us here will be wondering, who was that? A little bit about Sheryl Sandberg. I know that she was Facebook CEO at the point and all of that. Even me, I'm not sure whatever she's doing these days, but then there are people in the audience who probably don't know who she is at all. The last one, again, is not just for you, but for all of us. For a speech like this, it's always great to end it with a thought. I thought that the ending was a bit mellow, especially for a speech titled World Domination, because you ended with three brilliant phrases: always learning, always moving, and perhaps hopefully eventually achieve world domination. No, you don't weaken such a great speech with a mellow ending. Always living, always learning, and eventually achieving world domination, or eventually obtaining world domination. You need to end it with a thought, because that's what follows both the theme of the speech and even the concept of ending a speech on a crescendo. That said, this was brilliant all across, and I will pass across the rest of my feedback in writing. Congratulations, distinguished Toastmaster essay. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, DTM Chips, for evaluating Tia Robert DTM and giving her food for thought that will nourish her path in the DTM ship. Toastmaster Ogene, I hope you had one or two cherries to pick from that tray of fruits. Next on my list to evaluate Toastmaster Mina Allison, who was our second speaker, we have the gentleman who they say looked like a movie star to evaluate our second speaker. Yet another DTM, Alex Abortia. Alex Abortia, please nourish Mina with your words.
All right, thank you very much, the general evaluator. The way you talk about food and I decided to take a break to have my meal before my time came up. So that's the inspiration. Toastmaster TM, Mina Allison. I looked forward to your great speech to nourish us today, and you delivered above and beyond. Data to analog was the title of your speech, and it was to demonstrate your understanding of communication style. I appreciate the dramatic entrance with which you asked a rhetorical question about your email not being responded to. That was what glued me and made me listen with keen interest to your presentation. And you had one analogy, or I call them anecdotes, and you said, we don't see the world as it is, but how we see it. That was a good introduction, in my opinion. And in going through your communication style, you'll find a way of explaining different kinds of approach you have attempted in the course of delivering your data analysis to your colleagues in the office. And you realize in the middle of your discovering your communication style that what is happening to you, that you are speaking your language and not theirs. Thereby, you are not communicating true. You changed your style. In your speech, you made us believe that communication strengthens connectivity, and you realize that in the course of finding your voice and your communication style. I like the way you tell stories in between, because you found out that data make people think, but with storyline, people will want to share and understand where you're coming from. So I like the example of food. You never forgot what the topic of today is. The general evaluator has infected all of us with this so much emphasis on food that we understand what nourishment is all about, and you infuse that into your presentation. I like that for you. Now, what would I have loved you do best? In communication style, there are different kinds of communication style which you did not list for us. And at the end of the day, I was expecting that you would tell me which of the communication style you preferred most. You have the critical communication, you have the persuasive style, you have the analytical mind. There are different kinds of communications, but you infused your communication by explaining it. For the purpose of learning and this evaluation I'm presenting to you, your communication style should be based on analytical communication style. So, for the purpose of learning, please remember to put that in mind. I loved your posture, your conversational quality, your fluency, your coherency speaks volume as a Toastmaster. You have moved from talking to speaking. I would love to evaluate your next speech if given the privilege. Tia Mina Allison, be proud of yourself as I am proud to have evaluated you. Back to you, the general evaluator.
All right, thank you very much, the DTM double A, Alex Abortia. That name I'll not forget in a hurry. Thank you very much for nourishing our speaker two with such kind words. There is always something to learn when you talk about your communication style and someone comes to point out where you would have included one or two. Now, moving on to the next. Toastmaster Shakira had a great speech. Now let's hear what my one and only Toastmasters crush, Toastmaster Kuji James, the evaluator number 3, has to offer to nourish speaker 3. Over to you, my crush of all time.
Thank you, my crush. It's been a minute. Okay, I'm here with the sole honor of evaluating Toastmaster Shakira's speech. She nourished us with her speech, and it's only fair that we tell her what she did well and what she could improve upon. First, I'll start by saying, Toastmaster Shakira, like I earlier declared, you are a delight to listen to. I've come to enjoy listening to your speeches. There's always something to look forward to. And today was no different. The shoulders I stand on. You started off with telling us a quote by a 17th century mathematician and teacher. I thought that was very catchy. Your opening was quite catchy. You didn't just go with the generic good evening Toastmasters and guests. This is something that all time Toastmasters do. And for someone relatively new, quite impressive. So well done on that. I like how you segmented each phase of mentoring into, you made it into clear-cut parts, 3 parts. You talked about family life, you talked about your professional life, and then you went ahead to talk about your speaking life or your Toastmasters journey. You spoke about your grandma. I loved how you spoke about how with passion, your facial expressions, your hand gestures, vocal variety, when you were telling us about the Yoruba code that she said and how you just did that, your eyes. I almost want to meet her. The way you described her with so much love. I long to meet her. I wish she were still alive. God rest her soul. I also want to you made Yoruba sound so interesting to the ears. That is how to give a speech. So thank you so much for doing that. You went ahead to talk about Ugo Wadu. These people, I don't know them. I've never met them. But from the way you described them, there's a link, there's a longing for me to meet them. You talked about how he spoke to you when you had an issue. You even mimicked his voice. You changed your tone. That's something we people miss, speakers miss. They just say, oh, and my manager said to me, do this and do that. You said, my manager said to me, Shakira, you must. I love that you did that. That showed that drama was very good. Growth doesn't wait for comfort. That has stuck with me. Third, you talked about Toastmaster Olem, the Toastmaster's journey, and how she helped you discover your voice. Clear cut. Thank you so much. A few things I think you can do better. There were times that it seemed like you forgot your lines, and in those moments, you turned back. You almost felt like there was an invisible being we did not see trying to give you your lines from behind. And I'm like, so Shakira seeing ghosts that I'm not seeing. Right. So I think next time when that happens, is advised that you pace yourself, breathe, speak a bit slowly, and then in those cases, you're able to remember what you're going to say next. It's advised that you finesse it. If you're not able to finesse it as a Toastmaster, people can tell when you're a bit thrown off. Also, you did not use the word of the day. Typically, what that does is it helps us know that you are conscious of the fact of the fact that you have to use the word. So that's something you can incorporate. Other than that, I love how you ended. Your speech was good. This way you segmented it. You said, today I stand tall because I stood on the shoulders of my mentors. You told us to get one, you told us to be one. And finally, you said the impact of mentorship doesn't end with you. Rather, it multiplies. And that is not going to leave my memory anytime soon. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shakira. We are looking forward to hearing you nourish us over and over again. And it's back to you, the general evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ekudi James. You've made me understand that when mentors nurture you, an evaluator comes to nourish you. Thank you for such nourishment you've given to Toastmaster Shakira. And once again, I like to call on the last but not least on this list of speech evaluators. Having evaluated Toastmaster Chigozie Dimba, I'd like to call on the one and only Table Topics Master Queen, Toastmaster Olem Orene. Olem Orene.
Thank you so very kindly, General Evaluator. I'm going to keep this quick as my eyes on the clock. The best reunions are the ones where everyone feels at home and not like a guest. Toastmaster Chigozie, I see you on the call. I thought that was a very punchy line somewhere in your speech. Well done. Your speech objective today was for you to present a proposal to us. And I love that you stepped out of Toastmasters and out of your professional space to give us a plan for your old classmates from 32 years ago. Now, for you to remember that far, it means that this speech meant something special to you. So very well done. I would say that you have met the objective of this speech upfront because you were able to present a proposal. But here are a couple of things I really loved about it. You told us that This was for classmates from 32 years ago, 3 decades. You were very emphatic about that. And I love that you use your hand gesture quite emphatically when you were saying 3 decades, and you say that like 3 times. I love that in putting this plan together, you identified a 20 team member committee that would help you put together this reunion. I love that you had some detailing around the number of persons who were in your class, which was 170, and you were saying plus or minus, if everybody doesn't come, we should do about 80%, which was 120 attendees. Very detailed. I love that in this plan, you mentioned your strategy around monthly meetings. The venue was going to be in Lagos. You're going to have virtual components, etc. I loved how you broke down the event days from Thursday, where you were going to welcome guests, to Friday, where you're going to have exercise sessions along some partying, to Saturday, where you will get to the crux of the matter, and then more partying, and then on Sunday, where everybody departs. I'm sure anybody who listened to this speech wanted to be at this reunion. If you looked at the chat box, you would see that. So very well done. I love that in the plan of this nature, you were very intentional about including funding, especially funding for accommodation, so people would not be stranded whether they paid or not. I also love the fact that you infused the quote from Helen Keller, where you said, alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much more. This is me paraphrasing, and she's an American author, something I think you missed out while saying that. For me, this was a very beautifully delivered speech. I have only one recommendation for you. For a speech of this magnitude, it will have been lovely because I observed you didn't use any visualizations or props. It would have been nice if you had some form of visualization in the form of a slide deck that showed some of these numbers. So we will leave here today knowing how many white parties we're going to have, how many cocktails we'll have to attend for the next 4 days, how many beaches we're going to go to. Just having that graphical image on a single slide would have enhanced the feeling that we had from this presentation. But let me be very clear, it did not take away from the quality of the delivery here today. So I will just leave by iterating your closeout where you said, reunions shouldn't just be about remembering the past. They should be about rebuilding the future together. I thought that was a really nice closing for a speech of this nature. Well done for delivering on your speech objective. And yes, congratulations for completing your level 3. I know how far we went to get you here, but I'm also delighted that you've been able to close this gap. Thank you for delivering on the DCP, and thank you for the growth I know you've experienced just by doing this project. Well done. And it's back to you, the general evaluator.
All right, thank you very much, Toastmaster Olem. That was a good one. And did you know that myself and Chigos here, we are classmates in the Okigwe school? Chigos here, we cannot bring people to that party. If you are not part of the 93 state, you are not coming to the party, no matter how much you put on the chat box. That food is meant to nourish just classmates. Go and check your records. I now like to invite my smiling queen, my president of your premier speakers. She is a solutions architect, the president of your premier speakers club, and she's on the dynamic leadership path. She loves hiking and swimming, and she loves good to chew too. Her favorite quote is fine. Help me welcome our table topics evaluator, Toastmaster Elizabeth Attar.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good evening, Toastmasters and our guests. For want of time, I'm just going to delve straight into the table topic evaluation. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Linus, for serving us such a nourishing dish. It was so well put together. for the purpose of this evaluation, I want to do something different now because I realized that we had more of Toastmasters come up to answer questions. I was looking forward to having guests. So I thought that I should tell us what a seasoned or a good table topic presentation is supposed to be, table topic master role is, and what the respondents are expected to do. Now, what Toastmaster Linus did is exactly what a good table topic master is supposed to do. He came up, he was nourishing questions, they were rich, they had connections with the team, and we had 3 different Toastmasters come up to like 10 to answer Toastmaster GBK. Tell us what to expect. Yes, Toastmaster people did so. They gave us exactly what and as table topic respondents. But I know that most times we have guests on the call and most people are afraid of responding to table topics because they do not know what is expected of them or what they are supposed to do. So I'll take the few minutes or seconds I have left to tell you that in Toastmasters, table topic is not something you're supposed to be scared of. It's something we actually invite guests to be a part of now, because when you're a part of that session, you become, in fact, you give yourself an experience that would live with you for the rest of your life. You give yourself a gift. It's a gift you give to yourself in every Toastmasters meeting as a guest. So when you're called upon to do table topic as a guest, now I want you to know that nobody is trying to set you up for failure. It's an opportunity for you to shine. So the first thing you do is you pause and you don't panic. You take 3 to 5 seconds to think about the question and ask yourself, what is the best way for me to approach this question? Now, there is a standard or a recommended method in Toastmasters we use to answer table topic questions. It's called the PREP method. The point, reason, example, and points. It's PREP. Points, reason, example, and points. Now, for points, it's you state your main idea. You state, explain why you use that point in answering the question. And then for the example, an example to back up your point. So it could be a short story or your personal experience. I like to use personal experience because it's yours. It's a comfort zone. It's a place that you can always learn easily. And then you return to the point again. That's the shortest way to answer a table topic question. Point, reason, example, and point again. Very easy, very straight to the point. And next time an opportunity, please take it because you'll shine through. Now, for my recommendation to Toastmaster Linus, I think that next time when you want to call out respondents or when you want to give opportunity to people to speak, you should look out for people who are not in the role players list so that every other on the call has an opportunity to speak. Imagine if we didn't have the interactive session where everybody was speaking. Some people would have come to this meeting today and they would not have opportunity to speak. And thank you to all the respondents. You did so well. You used the word of the day and you made that session very beautiful. Over to you, the general evaluator.
Thank you very much, the smiling queen and my president, for such wonderful evaluation that came quite informative to tell us about PREP. Now, without any waste of time, because we're actually down on time, I'd like to call on my tag team to tell us how we fared with our day. First on my list would be the grammarian. Help me welcome Toastmaster Tobilola Akinmolua, our grammarian.
Tobilola. All right, thank you very much, the general evaluator. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Once again, it's been not only a nourishing but also an enriching experience end to end. And I can say for certain that everyone feels the same way. I've learned a whole lot from today's meeting, and I will tell you, pun intended, I am fed up and I am feel full to my maximum. So let's dive right into the grammarian's report. The most application for the word of the day, nourish, and its variations goes to drum rolls. The distinguished Toastmaster herself, Essay Okerika, she used the word of the day a whooping 11 times. Please, a round of applause for her. Okay, then we had the GE, the General Evaluator, use the word of the day a whooping 7 times. We had Guest Wumi a, use it 2 times, and I really need to applaud her because that was very brilliant, especially since it was on the spur of the moment. Now to top up your nourished minds and bellies, I'll leave you with an expression that stood out for me. And again, it's from the DTM herself. And it says, "May I never be afraid, especially of myself." I'll take that again. It says, "May I never be afraid, especially of myself." So, dear Toastmasters and guests, I wish you a lovely evening and a more nourishing week ahead. Thank you, and it's back to you, the General Evaluator.
All right, thank you very much, Madam Grammarian. And maybe I should have called you last, so I would have had more time to use the word of the day. But however, I just needed the DTM to bask in the moment and have her win. Next on my call, I'll have to bring up the eye counter to tell us how we fared with our confabulations. Toastmaster Paul, the lectern is yours. The virtual lectern is yours.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. I'm fed up, right? I'm not only fed up actually. Like Toby said, like I was so nourished actually, listening from different presentations and trying to pick people that will use post fillers, people that will use filler sounds and all that. But I couldn't get much actually. We really tried today, you know. So from my account reports, everybody did well except I think 1, 2, 3, 4. So Toastmaster Alice used once. Toastmaster Mina used once. Toastmaster Shakira used she twice. Then Toastmaster Elizabeth Atta used twice. And that is that from my own side. Thank you, and it's back to you.
All right, thank you very kindly, eye counter. Now I have to call on the timer to give us an insight on how we fared with time. Toastmaster, is the timer? Over to you.
Good evening once again to the Toastmasters and guests. I'm standing in for the timer of the day, and I'll quickly go through our timing reports. Starting with the evaluators, speech evaluator 1, Chukwuma with a DTM, spent 2 minutes 44 seconds. The speech evaluator 2, Alex Abochia, spent 3 minutes 15 seconds, spending 15 seconds over the allotted time. Our third evaluator, TM Equity, spent 3 minutes 30 seconds, right on the cusp of the allotted of the 30 seconds grace after the 3 minutes time. And our fourth evaluator, TM Ogoiholem, spent 3 minutes 32 seconds, exceeding the allotted time for our evaluation. Our counter was very apt and prompt, with spending only 50 seconds on the lectern, and our table topics master spent 3 minutes 37 seconds while speaking, which was 7 seconds above the grace period. And our grammarian, Toastmaster Tobiloba, spent 1 minute 30 seconds. Thank you. And then it's back to you, General Evaluator.
All right, thank you very kindly. Our timer of the day. Please pardon me that I have to run this evaluation with my camera turned off. Coming to Pecten Toastmasters, it's always coming for me because I'm part of this club. They have lots of intriguing things that brings people guests and keeps them. Today on the call, we had 18 to start with. And at some point, I saw 38 members on the call. It's good, but I feel I've seen better days of Pecten Toastmasters. And I wish that in the next virtual meeting that will go up to 50. The Toastmaster of the day, Olem, the Toastmaster of the Ogene, it's a Ogene, I keep mixing the names. She did so well by anchoring the entire day flawlessly and even beating the general evaluator to napping the word of the day awards. And going forward to the table topic segment, it was interesting. The questions aligned with the theme of the day. However, I felt they were just 3 respondents. In table topics, we love to see more respondents. For most people, it's the moment where the guests have an opportunity to participate in our Toastmasters journey. So I would recommend next time, let's see how we can have more people participate. However, I noticed that, yes, we had to capitulate at one end to accommodate the 4 speeches. Oh my God. It was mind-blowing to see 4 speakers. What a speakerton it was. It should win a Guinness record. 4 speakers in a meeting. The first was inspiring. The second was quite informative. We had a blend of both for the third. And I can't reject the invitation extended to us by Chigos here for the reunion. If you're not going, my dear, you are missing out. Then we move on to the break that was handled by Olem, who was also at that point sipping a bottle of understanding. And you know, moments with Olem have these things that it gets to nourish your emotions and excite you. It's always a moment well spent when you have those quiz, those things coming through to spur you up and nourish your mind. Yep. Oh, I almost missed out on the big reveal. That was quite a huge, colossal reveal. DTM, Ogane, in Toastmasters is big on celebrating wins, whether it's small or as big as this one for Ese Ogane. And who else would have had the honors of introducing and bringing forth to us Tia Roba, DTM. I think what missed out there, Toastmaster Chooks did not tell us where we would have to convene for the after party. We need to wash and celebrate this big win. In all, the evaluators did a great job with their recommendations and management of time and pointing out the areas the person did well and needed growth on. And I want to say that I'm saying this now because my own video is turned off. In a meeting like this, I would love to see more engagement. Imagine that we're having a one-on-one conversation and you're looking elsewhere without having that eye contact and actively engaging with me. I feel I'm alone in the communication. So turning on your videos makes the speaker feel, yes, we're connecting, makes the facilitators feel we are connecting. And on the call, I think I saw just about 5 to 6 people of the whole lot, and it wasn't really nice. Apologies that mine is actually turned off right now. Practice what you preach, you would say. On the whole, I would say that this meeting was entertaining, educative, informative, and inspiring with the speeches, the fun moments, all that it had to be shared. And I look forward to being here anytime I'm called upon. Just tell me, where the party at? Over to you, DTM Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, our general evaluator. Can we all put our hands together? Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ubong. I know we are past time, so I want to just thank everyone who has participated in today's meeting, all our role players, all our speakers, everyone who activated in the chat. Thank you so much. It has been my honor and delight to serve as the Toastmaster of the day. This has been a nourishing time. And I would now like to hand over back to our president for her final closing remarks. Over to you, Madam President.
Thank you so much, the distinguished Dr. Toastmaster Eseogene Okeke. That is a mouthful, but we're proud to say it anywhere, anytime. Thank you so much for what they say, sailing the ship if we're going to sail and piloting this aircraft to its destination. We're really proud of you. We're very, very proud of you at Spectonites. But most importantly, just to say thanks to all our other role players, Toastmaster Obongo all the way from Uyo, as well as Toastmaster Elizabeth Attar, our tag team from home here in Port Harcourt, Toastmaster Paul Nduku, Oluwafemi Vincent, even though his network was a bit patchy today, Toastmaster Linus. Thank you so much for doing what VP is doing, stepping in to help with that. We appreciate you. And to all our speakers, congratulations. Yes, I have to mention it because Toastmaster Shakira has completed her level 2 officially. Toastmaster Mina just completed her level 2 officially. So we're banging with finishes, and it's just a beautiful thing to see. Well done to the VP and well done to the speakers for driving and pursuing their personal growth. And next meeting is October 21st. 2025. It's a Tuesday. It's a hybrid meeting. For those who like hybrids, yeah, you get to snack a bit and we get to see ourselves. It would also be the induction ceremony for our 10 new members. Yes, I said it. 10 new members within 100 days. It's no mean feat. So, yes, we're going to be welcoming them to the full Pectenites. We need you to show up for this one. And of course, we're going to be celebrating our first 100 days. What have we been up to on the dashboard, amongst other things? You know how we do it here. So that's a meeting you don't want to miss because there's just going to be a lot going on that day. With that said, I would say thank you so much for attending the meeting. Our guests on the call today, Chris, Wumi, Joy. Let me see if I remember everybody. Joy. I think those are the ones I remember. I tried all the total number, but thank you so much for joining. And we look forward to seeing you at the next meeting. At this point, we won't do the tongue twister. I mean, we can always just Linus, you can move to the next slide. So those who want to snip it can snip it but and try it at home. But I'll just say I would like to adjourn the meeting for today. Thank you so much to the 18 standing. All right, take care, everyone. And if you want to catch up for a bit, we will close the meeting at exactly 16:30. And apologies, we ended 15 minutes late, but thank you for staying. Yeah, meeting is closed. Let's stop recording. And then
Thank
those who want
you.
to